Welcome to Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Third game of a three-game set. UNLV taking on New Mexico. It'll be Justin Watari, Hayden Schilling, and Jared Mang. Top three for the Lobos here. And that is Chase Maddox on the mound. We'll get all the lineups set for you here. Looks like first pitch is going to go. Ignore the scoreboard. It is not 8-0. That one misses 1-0. So the 1-0 pitch, and that one misses 2-0 the count. So 65 degrees here on the last day of March. Winds out of the north-northeast, about 13 miles an hour. Absolutely beautiful day. Hopefully you got the memo. It is a 12 o'clock or 12:05 first pitch. That one in for a strike. 2-1 the count. We'll set the Rebels defensively here. Left field, Grant Robbins, the junior. James Gamble, the freshman, in center. And in right, Max Smith, the senior. And the 2-1, and that one will be chopped up. Let's see if Williams can get to that. He does not. It gets on through, and that will be the first hit by the first batter, Watari, who walked a couple times yesterday.
Number 3, Hayden Schilling.
So the Lobos do what took them 8 2/3 last night. They do on their very first batter. They were one hit last night. Ryan Hare went 8 2/3, gave up one hit. Connor Woods came in on 3 pitches, struck out to ensure the Rebels the second game in the series, which they won. The first game they lost 3-2. So this is for the series victory, and very important. Mountain West, Lobos and Rebels are duking it out right now for fourth, which is important because top 4 teams get to go to the tournament at the end of the year, Mountain West tournament in Reno, 0-1. Hayden Schilling comes in batting .308. Watari on first. He's got some speed, 3 for 3. Shows bunt, and he bunts it foul, so quickly 0-2. The Lobos, boy, the top 5 in their order, all batting well over 300. Schilling 308, but the other ones. But the Rebels pitching so far, even in the game they lost, they only gave up 3 runs. None yesterday, so Chase Maddox trying to keep that going. The 0-2, Watari takes his lead. That one shot right up the middle, so first 2 batters on with singles. And that's dangerous as Jared Mang comes up batting .385, 34 RBI in the year, and 3 home runs.
Center fielder, number 15, Jared Mang.
Round the infield, third base, Dylan Johnson, Bryson Stott at short, Darian Williams at second, Jack Thomas Wold at first, and Jacob Godman, the freshman, behind the plate. Rebels looking to turn 2 here. Lobos looking to get on the board first for the first time in the series. That one in for a strike, 0-1, they count. Chase comes in with 3.98 ERA, 1-1 record, 31 2/3 innings pitched, 5 walks, 18 strikeouts. And the 0-1, and that one is lined right back up the middle. Wow, they just need to put somebody right there, right on second base. That's 3 hits. Let me see if I can chart this. Yep, right up the middle, all 3 of them.
Third baseman, number 13, Connor Mang.
They were not cheapies by any means. All of them struck well. And Connor Mang now will come up with the bases loaded and no outs, and all of a sudden the Rebels need a perfect thing for them would be a double play with the first out being recorded at home. Johnson in at third, Wold pretty tight over at first. Stott and Williams back in more traditional double play depth. And something tells me Ray Birmingham, the Lobos head coach, just said go right back up the middle on Maddox. Or if he didn't, his players have decided to do that. That one misses, 1-0 the count. And that one, big swing and a miss, 1-1. Rebels will go on the road after this. They will not return to Early Wilson until the next Tuesday against ASU for a home game. And the 1-1, and that one is chopped down. Could be two. Stott will take it himself and throw over to Wold. So they give up a run for an out, which I'm sure with bases loaded and no outs, not a bad exchange there. So now there are 2 outs. Watari scores. Schilling does go to third, and that'll bring up the DH today, Jeff Daimling. Daimling batting .333. 66 at-bats, 22 hits, 4 home runs. Maddox trying to limit the damage here in the first, and the first pitch to Daimling, that one is right back up. Takes a weird bounce. Stott stays with it and fires over. So all in all, I think Chase Maddox would take that. Bases loaded, no outs. Only gives up 1. 1-0 going to the bottom of the first. Rebels will have their first at-bat coming up live from Early Wilson. Bryson Stott will lead it off for UNLV, batting .303. It'll be Stott, Johnson, Wold, Williams, Smith, Robbins, Pahukoa, the DH, Godman, and Gamble for the Rebels. And they'll be facing Drew Gillespie on the mound. 0-2 record, comes in with a 9.64 ERA. And Gillespie sets and delivers, and Bryson shows bunt, pulls it back, 1-0 the count. We'll set the Lobos defensively here in a moment. But first the 1-0, Bryson shows bunt again, takes it again, 2-0. Tanner Baker in left, Jared Mang in center, and Adam Akins, the senior, in right. Big shift being deployed here on Stott. And the 2-0 shows bunt again. He tries to bunt it down there. Oh, what a nice play by Kevin Higgins in the third base coaching box, but that is not an out, so 2-1 the count. So Connor Mang playing, well, basically playing shortstop right now, but he is a third baseman, but he's playing the shortstop position. Hayden Schilling over there at second, but playing shortstop. Justin Watari way in the hole, and Derrick Marshall Jr. over at first. The junior. Amazingly enough, the junior. Derrick Marshall Jr., the junior. And behind the plate, Reese O'Farrell. As the plane comes zipping up, we are in the takeoff pattern. And the 3-1 to Bryson, and that one is outside. So Bryson will draw a walk, and that is something that Bryson has done very well this year.
Third base for UNLV.
That is his 34th walk of the year.
The third baseman, number 25, Dylan Johnson.
And Dylan Johnson now steps in, batting .328 on the year. 16 RBI And he's got Bryson Stott at first. Bryson 4 for 6 in the stolen base department, in case you're wondering, will he be going? He's not going. Oh, boy, that one was right down the pipe. But Dillon swings through it. Oh, and won the count. Look at Tanner Baker. He is left field, and he is well off the line. If Dillon, I think he was trying to pull that one. If he can pull it down that line, this game will be tied. He tries to go the other way, and it is quickly 0-2. But I'm very surprised they're playing Dillon so far off. Oh, my gosh, look who finally decided to show up. Alex White, amazing. We'll have our Alex White interview in the third inning. And the 0-2, the runner goes. It is fouled off. Bryson does not see that. He slides in, but the count will remain 0-2. Gillespie sets, and the 0-2, a throw over, and Stott just back in time. That was pretty close over there. 1 run, 3 hits for the Lobos. 3 singles in the first. Bases were loaded with no outs. Maddox able to throw over again. That one close again. Jack Thomas Wold, who had a 2-run home run yesterday, on deck. Swinging a really good bat. And the 0-2 to Johnson, and that one is low and gets away. Stott will be able to easily go to second. So that will be a wild pitch on Drew Gillespie. So if Johnson can't get a hit, let's see if he can make a productive out and get Stott over to third. Anything probably on the ground to the right side of the infield should do the trick, but it is 1-2, so his first order of business is to get contact. And the 1-2, and that one outside 2-2 the count. That's Trent Petrie behind the plate, Dale Luker at first, Jimmy Craig at second, and Joey Stegner, the umpire, at third. It's been a fun series so far. See if today lives up to it. And the 2-2, and that one hung up there, and that'll be, will it get through? Boy, that took 500 hops, it seemed like. Now that, Schilling had to eat it because he had to spin around, so that will be a base hit. As Johnson,
Jack Thomas Wold.
That was funny. When it went off the bat, I thought it was going to get to center field, but it just kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. But it was put in the perfect place, and the Rebels trying to get right back even or more here as Jack Thomas Wold now steps in. No outs, runners at the corners. Remember, like I said, the Lobos had bases loaded, no outs, and were only able to get one. See what the Rebels can do here with runners at the corners. Jack Thomas Wold steps in, batting .341 now. 4 home runs. He had his 4th one yesterday. 2-run shot, amazingly enough, in the first. Throw over to first and back safely is Johnson. Now, Jack Thomas, a left-handed batter, but my gosh, Baker is way off the line. Look how the Lobos left fielder is basically playing center left. I almost won't even say left center. I will say more center left. That is so far off the line. We'll see if they haven't played right. The 1-0, and that one a check swing. Did he go? They appealed down to third base umpire Joey Stegner. He says no, so that will be a ball. So 2-0 the count. Crowd still coming in here at Early Wilson. Smoking Sam's. Doing a good business back there today. The concessions here. I already see a couple patrons with some food. And the 2-0, and that one does get the outside part of the plate. Boy, if he pitches that outside part, if Jack Thomas can just loop one into left field. But, of course, with a home run last night, he's probably thinking a little bit more. Wind wouldn't help him going to right. It's not that big of a breeze, even though the 335, I know you can't see their flags. It's just to the right out of the screenshot. They're kind of blown in. That one is chopped down and takes a big bounce, and that'll be a single. Johnson never hesitated. He'll go to third. He will draw the throw. That was a little closer at third than I thought, but that is a RBI single for Jack Thomas Wold, and we're all tied up here in the first inning. And runners still at the corners and nobody out.
Second baseman, number 2, at Derrick Williams.
So now Williams will step in. 1-1 already. Looks like we might have a score fest here. Williams steps in batting .321 at 12:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the first one outside, 1-0 the count. Smith on deck. Both teams trying to take the series. And already in the first inning, we've got some fireworks. And the 1-0 pitch to Williams, that one outside, 2-0. So Williams has the count in his favor. Next home game, April 9th, as I said, that is against Arizona State out of the Pac-12. And the 2-0 to Williams, and that one is fouled off. 2-1 the count. Williams has 1 home run on the year, 21 RBI. And a throw over to first. Jack Thomas pretty easily back there. Johnson at third. Jack Thomas with the RBI single at first. All tied up, 1 apiece. The 2-1 pitch to Williams. And that one is shot right back up the middle. And what a stop by Watari. He'll throw over, and Williams will be called out at first. The good news, if you're a Rebels fan, is Johnson does score, but that is a double play, so no RBI for Williams. Good play by Watari. Got it to Schilling, and Schilling made a strong throw over to Marshall. And that will erase everybody off the bases, but the Rebels do pick up the second run of the day for them. So Max Smith steps in, batting .322. Now with nobody on base. So each team has, that one misses 1-0. Each team has hit into a double play. The Lobos have 3 hits, but only 1 run. The Rebels have 2 runs, but only 2 hits. And the 1-0, and that one is fouled off. The count will go to 1-1. Smith has 6 home runs on the year to lead the Rebels. Bryson Stott behind him at 5, and with 4, Jack Thomas Wold. And the 1-1, and that one does go for a strike. 1-2 the count. So Gillespie 1 strikeout from ending the Rebels in the bottom of the first, but the Rebels have put up 2. And the 1-2, and that one, a little check swing, goes out. Gillespie will gather it barehanded. A little scary there, but he does get the out, and that'll do it. But the Rebels do score 2. 2-1, they lead going to the top of the second, live from Early Wilson. Adam Adkins, the right fielder, will lead it off here in the top of the second. He's batting 179 on the year. The senior steps in against Chase Maddox. Adkins out of Denver, Colorado, hometown. And the first pitch, and that one in for a strike. 0-1 the count. And the 0-1, and that one a big swing and miss, 0-2. Adkins, Marshall Jr., and Baker set for the Lobos here in the top of the second. And the 0-2, and that one is down right field. It will go foul, and Smith unable to get it. It did go into and over the fence down the right field line, so the count will remain 0-2. 335 Club looking pretty well represented out there. Beautiful day on the last day of March. The 0-2, and that one will be fouled off the other way. The count will remain 0-2. And that one fouled off straight back. The count will remain 0-2. After this, the Lobos will go play Texas Tech at the Santa Ana Star Field. So they go back home for a couple games. See if Maddox can get him chasing there. That one will be a down the line and will go for at least a double as Adkins is on his horse, and he will stroll into second base with a leadoff double. Oh, on an 0-2 pitch. That hurts. But it hugged the line.
Number 14, Derrick Marshall.
First baseman Derrick Marshall now steps in. He's batting 182. Rebels defense not looking for a bunt. And you wouldn't think so. Marshall does have 2 home runs on the year. It's already a runner at second with no outs. Yeah, wow. And he does bunt. He bounced right back to Maddox. His one and only play over, and that will be a quick out. So Lobo's playing a little bit of small ball here in the second inning. It does bring up Baker's batting 272. Tanner Baker, the left fielder.
Left fielder. Number 16, Tanner Baker.
Baker doesn't have any home runs. He does have 4 doubles, and of course would not even take a hit to even up the score here, as there is 1 out. Adkins at third now. O'Farrell, the catcher, on deck. And the first pitch, and that one, big swing and a miss, 0-1, the count. Johnson in about even with the bag at third, and so is Jack Thomas Wold at first. Stott and Williams back in more traditional positioning. And the 0-1, and that one will be hammered to right field for a base hit, and we've got ourselves a tie ball game, 2 apiece here in the top of the second. It's a good thing they started this game early. This might be a lot of runs here today.
The catcher, number 4, Reese O'Farrell.
So the catcher O'Farrell steps in, batting .234, looking down a long time with 1 out and a runner on first. I didn't think they were going to bunt last time. We'll see what they do here. Top of the order is coming up next with Watari. And the first pitch, that one in for, there was a fan in front of me. I think that was in for a strike. I'm not 100% sure. Is a very tall fan walked up there right in the middle. So it was a ball? Okay, so 1-0. And that one is popped up. Jack Thomas Wold should have room. He is in foul territory right over there, and he makes a backhanded stab right next to the fence for the second out of the inning. Nice play by Jack Thomas Wold in foul territory for the second out of the inning.
Second baseman, Justin Watari.
Justin Watari will now step in. He's 1 for 1. Though the Lobos only had 1 hit yesterday, and it was not Watari. Watari was on base via the walk multiple times yesterday. His on-base percentage, .467. That is a great leadoff hitter. That one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. Baker over at first, does have 1 stolen base, 1 for 1. And you wouldn't be surprised if he might be going here. Try to get in scoring position. Worst case scenario, Watari leading off the 3rd inning. And this one is hammered out, but Gamble gets on his horse and makes the catch. What a play by James Gamble to retire the side here. All tied up. 2 apiece going to the bottom of the second. Live from Early Wilson. Grant Robbins steps in for the Rebels, batting .286. 2-2 here, bottom of the second. Grant Robbins will take the first pitch from Drew Gillespie, and the first one in for a strike, 0-1 the count.
Fielder, number 27, Grant Robbins.
And that one way outside, 1-1. Wind kind of swirling around here. In fact, it's out of your view, but just a minute ago, the dust kicked up down the right field line as a plane zips on over. And the 1-1 to Robbins. And that one is 3 bounces. Oh, nice play by Schilling. He spins. Wow, nice play by Hayden Schilling. I'll tell you what. That spin around and then throw a dart over to Marshall for the first out of the bottom of the second inning.
Number 45, Duke Pahukoa.
So Pahukoa will step in, the freshman. He's got his batting average up to 242. Both teams have 2 runs. Lobos have 5 hits. The Rebels have 2 here in the bottom of the second. Jacob Godman on deck, the catcher. So 3 freshmen in a row here, and Duke will take the first one in for a strike. 0-1 the count. We've seen some good shortstop play throughout the year here at Early Wilson. Of course, Bryson Stott, smooth as anything. That one misses. But Schilling made a really good play there. I thought that was going to be a base hit for Grant. And Schilling said, no, no, no. And the 1-1, and that one is fouled off. The count will be 1-2. Pahukoa from Durango High School, 6'1" freshman. And the 1-2, and that one is a swinging strikeout. 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up Jacob Godman, the catcher.
The catcher, number 23, Jacob Godman.
From Palo Verde High School right here in Las Vegas. Jacob was so close to catching a no-hitter, and of course, that's some great defense, but it's a pitcher-catcher's relationship a lot too. So good job yesterday, Godman and Hare. 8 2/3 of no-hit ball. And the one hit was a chopper that got through the hole. Took a humongous second bounce. That one misses. 1-1 the count. Gamble on deck. And the 1-1, and that one is a swinging miss. 1-2. And the 1-2 to Godman, and that one is down to the shortstop. Let's see if Schilling can do it again. It bounces up there, and no, unable is Marshall. Now, Godman's trying to go to second, and the ball does get away far enough from O'Farrell. O'Farrell was doing what he should do, but it bounced enough up the line, so good running by Jacob Godman to get into second base. So that will be a base hit. The error will allow Godman to go to second. So now the Rebels have 2 outs, but Gamble's up now with a runner at second. That is the Rebels' 3rd hit of the, can we call it afternoon yet? Oh, yeah, sure. 12:39, of course. 12:05 start. And the pitch, and that one in for a strike. 0-1 the count. 0-1. Rebels looking, try to get back the lead right now, all tied up. And the 2, oh boy, Watari went over there, just perfect placement. He jumped over there, and that will do it. But the Rebels do strand 1, still tied up, going to the top of the 3rd. Live from Early Wilson. Hayden Schilling steps in, shortstop. Batting .314. He's 1 for 1 on the day. He had a single, as did the top three to start out the game of the Lobos. All tied up, and the first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Johnson up at third in case Schilling decided to bunt. Schilling made that great play in the bottom of the second. And that one even a little bit slower, a little bit higher, so that is a ball. 1-1 the count. Rebels 17-12 on the year. Lobos 13-13. Both 5-6 in the Mountain West. The real number that matters. Not that the other number doesn't matter, but when it's all said and done, Mountain West play is what will allow you to get the opportunity to get in the tournament. I mean, you can get in at large, but that's the way to make sure you get in the fun at the end of the baseball season. And the 1-1 to Schilling, and that one is fouled off. The count will go to 1-2. And that one in for a called third strike. That will be Maddox's first strikeout of the day.
Center fielder, Jared Mang.
So Jared Mang now steps in. He also, as I said, 1 for 1. As the Lobos started out with 3 straight singles to start the game. They had the bases loaded with nobody out, and Maddox was able to pitch out of that and only allow 1 run. And right now we are tied up at 2 apiece. And the first pitch to Mang, outside 1-0 the count. And the 1-0, and that one is hammered down, and that is foul ball. Boy, I thought that, my naked eye, I thought that was fair, but it is called a foul. I thought I saw chalk pop up on that one. But that will just be a strike. Ray Birmingham going over there, kind of. Yeah. That's Dylan Johnson, the Rebel third baseman, was giving, it's like, oh no, it was foul. But we'll start it all, well, not all over. It is 1-1 to Jared Mang. Maddox sets and delivers, and this one is a swinging strike. 1-2 the count. That one misses. 2-2. And the 2-2 to Jared Mang, and that one is hammered right back up the middle, pretty much where his first hit in the first inning went, and Jared Mang is 2 for 2 on the day. Both of them singles. Now, Connor Mang will come up and see what he can do here with 1 out. Rebels looking for a double play. Connor batting .337. Older brother batting now .396. And the first pitch outside. DH. Jeff Deimling on deck, the senior. Maddox hoping that a double play gets him out of the third before Deimling can even arrive at the plate. The Lobos, of course, hoping not. And the 1-0, and that one misses. Oh, boy. Jared Mang over at first almost went off too far. Decided to come on back. If he'd have taken another step, I think he would have been in no man's land, and Godman would have started initiating some either a throw to Williams at second or probably Williams at second, and probably would have had him in a rundown, but he stopped just in time. And that one fouled off, the count 2-1. Next day game here at Early Wilson will be April 14th, the Sunday game against San Jose State. The next three games here at Early Wilson will be 6:05 starts. Something tells me the weather will be a little bit warmer at that point. That one fouled back, 2-2 the count, one out. New Mexico 3-4 on the road this year. Maddox sets, and the 2-2. There goes Mang, and that one high. Godman throws down, and unfortunately, good backup by Stott. Williams unable to get it. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Jared Mang will get the stolen base. That is his fourth stolen base of the year. That was also a ball, so now it is a full count to Connor Mang. Maybe I'll just start saying Jared and Connor. So Jared at second, Connor at the dish. Full count, 3-2. One out. And this one is a swinging foul tip strikeout. So that is the second out of the inning and also the second strikeout of the day for Chase Maddox.
Designated hitter, Jeff Deimling.
But you're not out of the 300 hitters yet. Jeff Deimling steps in, batting .328. He did grind out? No, ground out. We won't go past tense on ground out. Back in the first inning. Jeff has 22 RBIs on the year. And this one is popped up, and I believe that'll go. Yep, that goes out of play. So a strike goes well out of play. 0-1 the count. And a little kid gives the ball to a bigger kid? What kind of crazy great world do we live in? Then the big kid drops the ball, but he picks it back up. I'm sure he's wondering, why did this littler kid think I needed a baseball more than the little kid? But you know what? That's a beautiful Sunday at Early Wilson. And the 0-1 to Deimling. That one will be ripped up to center field and being waved home. And the Lobos will retake the lead 3-2 by a two-out RBI single by Jeff Deimling. 7 hits already for the Lobos. I think that is the 5th hit. Of the 7 hits, 5 of them have been right back up the middle. Adam Adkins steps in. He's 1 for 1. Now, last time he was up, he did not hit up the middle. He Hit it right down the line past Johnson. I mean, there's nothing Johnson could do. It was a rip down the third base line. That one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. Chase's pitch count right around 44. The silver lining is with 8 2/3 yesterday, the Rebels bullpen should be well rested. But Chase, of course, trying to get a quality start here. 5 innings. He's only given up 3 runs right now. That one's for a strike. 0-2 the count. Be the top of the order for the Rebels. 1, 2, and 3. Stott, Johnson, and Wold scheduled in the bottom of the third. And the 0-2, and that one misses. 1-2 the count. And the 1-2, that one is fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Throw over to first, and easily back is Daimling. And the 1-2, and that one is a swinging strike. So another strikeout for Maddox. That's 3 on the game, but the Lobos, well, they're consistent. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. They lead 3-2 going to the bottom of the third. Live from Early Wilson. Bryson Stott steps in. Bottom of the third. Rebels trail by 1. Drew Gillespie on the mound for the Lobos. Stott walked his first time up. He shows bunt, pulls it back. I'm not sure where that missed, but it is a ball. 1-0 the count. Stott showed bunt 3 times his first at bat. And that one he does not. Wow. Maybe that was a makeup call. That one seemed a little high, but the count is 1-1, and actually probably should be 1-1. Maybe not quite in that order, but regardless, it is 1-1, and the 1-1 pitch outside part of the plate for a strike. 1-2 the count. Looks like that'll end the bunt. Showing the bunt and the 1-2, and that one is fouled off to the left. The count's still 1-2. And the 1-2, that one inside 2-2 the count. Dylan Johnson, who's 1 for 1 on the day, is on deck. And the 2-2 to Stott. That one, he goes the other way and goes against the shift, and that will be a single. Stott now 1 for 1 on the day. Yeah, that was a good-looking swing by Stott.
Third baseman, Dylan Johnson.
So Dylan had a single right up the middle. 1 for 1 on the day, batting .333 on the year. And the first pitch inside, 1-0 the count. Rebels will next be Mountain West play up in Air Force, Colorado Springs, actually. Now it's still a week, almost a week out. Weather looks decent up there. Throw over, easily back his Stott. Air Force had one series snowed out. Rebels hoping that does not happen to them next weekend, but right now the long-range forecast looking like one day they're even saying it gets up in the upper 60s. And the 1-0, and that one misses. 2-0 the count. Gillespie a little angry at himself, rubbing that ball extra there. His pitch count right around 44 here in the bottom of the third. And the 2-0 to Johnson, and that one will be tapped slowly down to third. Mang gets it, throws across, and makes a good throw. Wow. Some impressive plays by Connor Mang and Schilling over there on the left side of the infield. Now Stott was able to get to second on that. So now a runner in scoring position with Jack Thomas Woldup, who's also 1 for 1. He had an RBI single in the first to even the game. So he'll try to do the same thing here in the third. Stott now at second. Timeout called. We'll step out for a moment. Darian Williams on deck. That one ripped down, took a nice bounce for Marshall over there. Stott does go to third, but now there are 2 outs in the inning, so unless a wild pitch, an error, or a pass ball, it will take a hit now to score the tying run for the Rebels. Wold was not fooled on that. That was a rip down there, but good play. Some good infield play by the Lobos so far today. Williams will try to get the big 2-out hit. That one misses high. 1-0 the count. And the 1-0, and that one is hammered out to center field. Mang puts it away for the final out. So the Rebels do not score. They leave one runner at third, 3-2. Go on the top of the fourth. Rebels trail. Derrick Marshall Jr. steps in. He sacrificed his one and only at-bat back in the second inning. Top of the fourth. And Maddox sets and delivers, and that one in for a strike. 0-1 the count. Some Rebels heading down to the bullpen. They'll start to do some stretching there. Maddox's pitch count at 49, his 50th pitch high. 1-1 the count. So Marshall, Baker, and O'Farrell, the bottom of the lineup. See if Maddox can have a quick inning here. And that one will be, just off the glove of Williams. I thought he had that one tracked. So unless a double play here, there goes the 1-2-3 inning.
Left fielder.
That will go as a hit.
Baker.
And Tanner Baker now will come up. Baker had the RBI single back in the second. The Lobos have been consistent, scoring one in each inning. Chase Maddox trying to break that consistency here. Rebels looking for a double play. We'll see if the bunt is in order. We've seen it several times in the bottom lineup by the Lobos. Johnson playing in at third. Let's see if Maddox wastes a pitch to see if they are going to bunt. He doesn't. He bunts foul. 0-1 the count. Even though that was pretty high up there. Did they get a piece of Godman? Might have. Looks like, yeah. It's probably why the home plate umpire Trent Petrie giving Godman an extra moment to gather himself. And the 0-1 instead throw over to first. Marshall Jr. back pretty easily. Showing bunt again. He didn't touch that at all. That'll go all the way to the backstop, and that's pass ball. Godman started to come up, I think, too quickly to try to field that in case it had been bunted. But now there is a runner at second base. Now we'll see if they're still bunting to try to get him over to third with no outs, but not the play the Rebels were looking for, but the Lobos will gladly take that as now we are 1 hour into the game. So still showing bunt, stabs at it, foul tipped, and 0-2 the count. And the 1-2, and that one is hammered. Just off the glove of Maddox. 2 glove shots. It was hit so hard that unable to score. Marshall just moves up to third base, but Maddox, now that he barely tipped that one, but he's a little mad at himself. And unfortunately, the bottom part of the lineup putting the pressure on Maddox here. Looks like perhaps Bradley Spooner there warming up in the... Yeah, I think so. On the Rebel bullpen. Rebels playing in at third and first. And the first one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. So 2 hits, both of them off the gloves. Williams almost had that first one by Marshall. And the other one was no chance really for Maddox, but he did tip it. Let's hit up the middle. Rebels would give up the run and try to turn 2. And the 0-1, and that one is ripped down foul. 0-2 the count. Yeah, those pitches are getting elevated there. And the 0-2, that one just misses. 1-2 the count. 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Lobos. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Rebels. Winner of this game takes the series. And the 1-2 to O'Farrell, that one fouled off. The runner was going Baker from first. He will return on the foul ball. And that one will be hammered down, and that will drop in. Max Smith will not get to that for a long time as it goes into foul territory. That will score 2. O'Farrell will get a stand-up triple, and the Lobos break their streak of scoring 1 in every inning as they have scored 2 this inning, and with no outs and a man on third, it's not over yet. Even though if you're a Rebel fan, you hope it's over, but top of the lineup, I would be surprised if we do not get a visit here to the mound.
Second baseman, Justin.
And we do. Stan Stolte comes in. He's already made the move, so that will end the day for Chase Maddox. 5-2, top of the 4th. New pitcher coming up, live from Early Wilson. So Bradley Spooner will come in with the task of trying to keep the Lobos from scoring that runner at third with no outs, and that one fouled off top of the order, so this is a tall task Watari fouls that first one off. Spooner comes in. 6.48 ERA, 16 and 2/3 innings. 9 walks, 18 Ks. And a K would be much appreciated here for the Rebels. That one misses. 1-1 the count. And the 0-1, that one outside. 1-1 the count. As you can see, the Rebels playing the infield in, trying to cut down the runner. Boy, that's not going to be there. Let's see if Gamble, he does go back, but O'Farrell can trot on home, as he is, for the 6th run for the Lobos and the 3rd run of the inning. So that run will be charged to Maddox. So the Rebels will have to get their batting shoes going, or their hitting gloves, or their home run bats. Try to get back in here. 4 runs, college baseball, a lot of time still, bottom of the 4th. But Spooner needs to keep the Lobos right here. And the 1-1, and that one way outside. 2-1 the count. And the 2-1, and that one will be fouled off and out of play. The count will go to 2-2. And that one inside. So the count will go full. As I said, Spooner has walked 9 and struck out 18. Schilling does have 1 home run on the year. Let's see what happens here on the 3-2. And that one misses inside.
Center fielder, Derrick Marshall.
And Jared Ming comes up here. He's 2 for 2 on the day, 2 singles. Boy, he just missed an extra base hit down the left field line. Spooner sets and delivers, and that one low, 1-0. So all of a sudden, Bradley Spooner having problems with control. And the throw over, and that one pretty close at first, but Schilling able to get back. And the 1-0, and that one will be looped over Williams' head, and it'll be 1st and 3rd with 1 out. As Jared Ming stays perfect on the day, 3 at-bats, 3 singles. And now his brother, Connor Ming, will step up. But before Connor steps up, he will get some tutelage from Ray Birmingham. So Connor 0 for 2 on the day, batting .333 for the year. Spooner sets and delivers. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and that will be a ball. 1-0 the count. The runners weren't crashing down, but Schilling at third was ready to. Johnson at third. By the time he's even with the bag now. Shows bunt again. He pops it up and out of play, and that drops. And a young fan runs over there and gets it with a Detroit Tigers hat and an Aviators sweatshirt. Look at that. Aviators, of course, the AAA team, formerly the 51s, formerly the Stars, playing their new ballpark here coming up, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. They'll go out, start on the road in El Paso, and then come home, throw over to first, and just in time, Meng standing up going back, and that almost cost them an out over there at first. Nobody up in the Rebels bullpen, so this is Spooner's inning, unless it really goes back. And this time Meng dives back in. And the 1-1, and that one is chopped down. Dillon will throw over to Williams. Williams will throw over to Wold, and that will be a double play. So good turn by the Rebels. But the Lobos score 3, 6-2 here. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Live from Early Wilson. Lobos on top. Max Smith steps in. He is 0 for 1, grounded to first. It was a hot shot, actually, to first. Good play by Marshall Jr. over there back in the first. Rebels have had some chances. Some really good infield defense by the Lobos have kept the Rebels to scoring only 2. 4 hits on the day for them. And that one way inside. So the Rebels need base runners, need to start chipping away. It's only 4 runs, and it is the 4th in college baseball. There's always a chance at some crooked innings. Gillespie comes in. His ERA now at 9.23. That one in for a strike. 2-1 the count. And the 2-1, and that one misses. Count goes to 3-1. Grant Robbins collects the ball, throws it back into the Rebel dugout. And this one is hammered down, and it will stay fair. So Smith will hustle in and easily get a double. He will hold up there as Adkins gets the ball in quickly, and the Rebels start out with a runner at second in scoring position with no outs.
Grant Robbins.
So that's Smith's first hit of the day, 1 for 2 on the day. Grant Robbins steps in. And the first pitch, and Robbins takes that one, drops in for a strike. 0-1 the count. Grant from Bishop Gorman, right here in Clark County. Rebels trail by 4, bottom of the 4th. And the 0-1, he shows bunt. Fouls it off, and it's quickly 0-2. Grant, with Meng playing back, I'm sure that was a bunt for a base hit attempt. Not the dumbest thing, as if he could have dropped it down the third base line. Might have been, even though Connor Meng, has made an outstanding play over there already. But that was definitely not a sacrifice. He was going for bunt for a base hit. And the 0-2, and that one, swings at it way out of the strike zone. So not a good at-bat for Grant Robbins on that one. And Duke Pahukoa will step in.
Designated hitter, Duke Pahukoa.
Pahukoa struck out his one and only at-bat. That was back in the second inning. Yeah. The Rebels cannot afford to squander a leadoff double by Max Smith. There is one out here. Godman, who's 1 for 1 on deck. And that one right down the pipe, 0-1 the count. So Gillespie able to get ahead of the last 2 hitters. Got ahead of Robbins, dropping in. A little change of pace, and that one looked like a fastball at the knees. 0-1 the count. And the 0-1 to Duke, and that one will bounce. Good stop by O'Farrell there. 1-1 the count. The wind blowing a little bit now out to left field. So if Duke could elevate, perhaps the Rebels could do a little bit of celebrate. And the 1-1, and that one is elevated, but this will not cause a celebration. Max Smith tags up. Wow, he goes to third? Well, okay. If you make that, they're seeing it. What? He left a little bit too early. And, boy, the Rebels are, I think that was a good call. Unfortunately, we'll go to the top of the 5th, 6-2. Rebels trail by 4, live from Early Wilson. DH Jeff Dimeling steps in. He'll take the first one and put it way up high. Gamble will go back and put it away for the first out of the inning. James Gamble just covering a lot of ground out there in center field. Nothing unusual for him. Does it all the time. So Dimeling gave it a ride. Adam Adkins takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count. Oh. Rebels will have Godman, Gamble, and Stott coming up. That one misses. 2-0 the count. And the 2-0, big swing and a miss. 2-1 the count. And the 2-1, and that one is fouled off. The count will go to 2-2. Bradley Spooner from Lake Forest, California. That's down in Orange County. Went to Saddleback College, junior college transfer. And the 2-2, and that one misses, so the count will go full. Now, before UNLV goes up to Air Force, they will play one game April 2nd, Tuesday, at Grand Canyon. That's a 2 o'clock game. Grand Canyon, they're really doing that one will be fouled off. They have some really nice facilities down there. And knowing Grand Canyon, that probably will be a stream game too. So Rebel fans, you can probably watch that game, 2 o'clock on Tuesday. And that is a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Bradley Spooner.
First baseman, Derrick Marshall.
So Derrick Marshall Jr. steps in, 1 for 1. He sacrificed and got a single back in the 4th. And the first one just gets the outside part of the corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. And the next one fouls off quickly. 0-2. And the 0-2, and that one will be out to right field. Smith comes over and puts it away. So good inning of work for Bradley Spooner. The Rebels will come to the bottom of the 5th, trailing by 4, 6-2 to the Lobos. Live from Early Wilson. Jacob Godman will lead it off for the Rebels here. Bottom of the 5th. He's 1 for 1 on the day. And that one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. So Gillespie came in with a 9.64 ERA. It's heading downwards right now as he's limited the Rebels to 2 runs, and that was all in the first. Jack Thomas Wold with an RBI single, and then another runner scored. No RBI given on that one because Darian Williams hit into a double play, but the run did score at that point. And that one misses. And that one will be fouled off, and the count go to 1-2. And the 1-2, and that one misses. Rebels have run themselves out of some innings. Had some great defense played by the Lobos and kept them to 2 runs here so far. That one will be fouled up and out of play, so the count will remain 2-2. A kid, kids have brought their glove. He almost made a great catch out there in the stands. And the 2-2 to Godman, and that one fouled straight back. The count will remain 2-2. Gamble on deck. Following him, Stott in the hole. Couple fans kicking back, drinking a beer here at the ballpark. Actually had a sale on Jell-O shots here. Timeout called. Still no activity in the Lobo bullpen. Gillespie's pitch count, well, very manageable in the 5th, right at 60. And that one fouled straight back again. Boy, Godman's getting some good cuts. And the 2-2 to Godman, that one fouled off again. So a good at bat by Jacob. He's making Gillespie work. We talked about it yesterday, but you want to get into this Lobos bullpen. Their ERAs are not stellar. Of course, any college bullpen pretty much you want to get into. The 2-2, and that one is a called 3rd strike. Not sure if he said he offered at it, looked outside, but maybe Godman didn't get the bat out. So Gamble will now come in.
Center fielder James Gamble.
That was a 9-pitch at bat for Godman. And the first one to Gamble, that one in for a strike. Wow. 0-1 the count. And the 0-1, that one low, 1-1 the count. And the 1-1, and that one is a big swing and a miss, 1-2 the count. So Connor Mang now at third base takes a few steps back with the threat of the bunt pretty much no longer appropriate or likely. And the 1-2, wow. Connor did a little, lifted it up and then kind of did it again, trying to throw off the timing of Gamble. And the 1-2, and that one, well, I don't think he offered at it. They're going to go down, and no, they don't. So it is a ball, 2-2. So I guess the Pyrrhic victory right now for the Rebels they are making Gillespie work on every at-bat. Yeah, you like that, Pyrrhic? Pretty good, huh? And that one shot down, and even now it's not even a Pyrrhic victory. It is a victory for Gamble as he gets on with a single, and of course he always a threat to run.
Shortstop, Bryson Stott.
So that'll allow Stott to come on up. Stott, every time at bat, he has shown a bunt multiple times. He has not bunted. He is 1 for 1. He did go to beat the shift and went to left field for a single his last at bat in the third, and he's walked. So he's been on base both times. Let's see. The Rebels down by 4. Let's see what Stan Stolte decides to do with the running part of the order. Throw over, and Gamble does get back. That one low. Wow. I'll tell you what. O'Farrell made a good play getting that one. That is not easy. 1-0 the count. Throw over and back in time is Gamble. Seth Mullis, the catcher, is roaming around in the bullpen. Throw over and back again is Gamble. I'll just put that on a loop. And a throw over, back again is Gamble. There, now I've recorded it, so if it happens again, I'll just push a little button. And the 1-0 to Stott, that one in for a strike, 1-1 the count. Throw over and back again is Gamble. Connor Mang going farther off the line at third. 1-1 still the count. Oh, 1-2 the count now to Stott. There goes Gamble, and it is high, so it is a ball, and Gamble in at second for his 5th stolen base of the year. So now 2-2 to Stott. Gamble now at second, 1 out in the inning. So you would think a base hit to the outfield of any kind would, with Gamble's speed, plate the 3rd run of the game for the Rebels. Rebels 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Johnson on deck. And the 2-2 to Bryson, that one high, so the count will go full. Rebels down by 4, trying to do something here in the 5th. Bryce's swing has looked very good today. Timeout called. the pace of play has slowed down. Wind right now blowing a little bit in from center field. The 3-2 to Stott, and that one will be fouled off and out of play. So if nothing else, they're getting Gillespie's pitch count up here in the bottom of the fifth. He came into this inning in the 50s. He will not get out of this inning probably without getting into the 80s. And that one misses. So Rebels now have 2 on with 1 out, and they're looking for a big hit today. And Dylan Johnson, who is 1 for 2 on the day, will come in and try to deliver that big hit. Or take a walk, get on base somehow. Gillespie seems to be not having pinpoint accuracy here the last 2 innings. Rebels have swung at a couple out of the strike zone. Let's see if Johnson can make them work here. That one high, 1-0 the count. I'm surprised that there is not starting to be action in the Lobos bullpen, but as of yet, still none. Of course, the Lobos looking to turn a double play, get out of the inning. The Rebels trying to do anything but that. A base hit could make this game very interesting again. Lots of speed out on the base pass. And the 1-0 to Johnson, and that one a big swing and a big miss. 1-1 the count. Baker playing just about as far over as you could get, but still in left field. But boy, there's a lot of room down that left field line. They're playing that Johnson is not going to pull it down the left field line in the outfield. And the 1-1, and that one going the other way and fouled off. So Dylan in the hole, 1-2. Rebels can ill afford to squander another opportunity. They had a leadoff double last inning, unable to score. They have runners at first and second. With 1 out here. Walden on deck. And the 1-2 to Johnson, and that one misses, so the count 2-2. The 2-2 to Johnson, and that one will be fouled up and go out of play. The count will remain 2-2. Wow, Gillespie has thrown a lot of pitches this inning. I think right around 27 pitches so far. Do it all over again. The 2-2 to Johnson, and that one misses. So the count will go full. There's speed on the base pass with 1 out. So we'll see how aggressive. I mean, if you're ever going to be aggressive, you are down by 4, though. But you've got your 2 fastest players on the base pass. Let's see how Stolte plays this one. Base hit here to the outfield may score 2. The 3-2 instead. Gillespie spins around and does basically nothing. Marshall Jr., of course, with the runner in front. Stock can get a huge lead at first, off of first. Watari a little closer there at second, so Gamble not able to get as big of a lead. And the 3-2 to Johnson, and that one will be a swinging strikeout for the second out of the inning.
First baseman, Jack Thomas, Walden.
So Wold had the first RBI of the day for the Rebels. In fact, the only RBI of the day. It'll take a big 2-out something here for the Rebels to cut into this 4-run Lobo lead. And the first pitch to Wold, and that one is fouled off and out of play. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 to Wold, and that one just misses outside. 1-1 the count. And the 1-1 to Wold, and that is a swing and a miss. So the Rebels down to their last strike, perhaps here. Activity now starting in the Lobos bullpen. Just starting. Jack Thomas trying to get a big 2-out hit, or at least get on any way possible here and give Williams a chance. And the 1-2, and that one high, 2-2. 8, 9, and 1 slots due up for the Lobos in the top of the 6th. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Rebels trail by 4, and that one is a called third strike. Rebels will leave 2 more on the base pass. Trail by 4, going to the top of the 6th, 6-2. Tanner Baker will step in, and he'll take the first one for a strike. We do have a defensive replacement in left field. So Jason Sharman now in left, taking the place of Grant Robbins. So change your scorecards accordingly. That one, 1-1 the count now. And the 1-1, and that one high, 2-1. Spooner still in for the Rebels. Rebels have squandered some chances in the 4th and the 5th. Spooner will try to keep the Lobos just 4 runs ahead. And that one misses. 3-1 the count. And the 3-1, and that one is fouled off and out of play. Auburn advances in the Final Four as they beat Kentucky, and that one inside, so that will be a leadoff walk for Tanner Baker.
Your attention, please. Defensive changes for UNLV. Now in the ball game and playing left field, number 35, Jason Sharman. The catcher, Reese O'Farrell.
So Reese O'Farrell comes in, and the Lobos have shown that they like to bunt with the bottom half of the order. Let's see if they keep to that. They show bunt, and that one misses inside. 1-0 the count. O'Farrell does have a triple and 2 RBI on the day. 1 for 2. Spooner sets and delivers, and that one misses. 2-0 the count. Watari on deck. So the guy's trying to bunt. The worst thing, well, almost the worst thing you can do is walk him. We'll see if Spooner can get a strike across. And the 2-0, this time he does not show bunt, and now it is a 3-0 count. And the 3-0, and that one in for a strike. 3-1 the count. Let's see if O'Farrell goes back and tries to bunt again. And that one will miss. So 2 walks in a row to start the top of the 6th for the Lobos. And the top of the order coming up for New Mexico. There is action, right-handed action in the Rebel bullpen. So Watari steps in, 1 for 2 on the day. He has an RBI. Spooner's had pretty good control, but not here. Shows bunt, and that is high. Boy, they're trying to give you an out. Got to put that ball in the strike zone. Especially now Jared Mang with his day so far. He's batting over 400 now at 402. 2 batters away. And the 1-0, Watari does a great bunt. He needs to, boy, Spooner needed to get out of the way. Good play by Johnson to not let Spooner distract him. So the sacrifice does work, But the Rebels are at least able to get the first out of the inning.
Shortstop, Hayden Schilling.
So Hayden Schilling, the shortstop, will now step in. 1 for 3 on the day. He walked his last at bat in the 4th. And that one in for a strike. Baker at third, trying to get inside Spooner's head. Kind of jolted down towards the third, from third to home. Spooner concentrated through a strike. The infield, as you can see, is in. And the 0-1, and that one is popped up shallow. Now, with the infield in, it's going to take Sharman coming in. Wow, no, Stott, and he drops the ball. Able to score from third is Baker. Stott almost made an incredible play, and that's one time where the infield being in hurts you. Well, there can be more than one time, but on a pop-up like that, Sharman was unable to get to it. Stott almost made a great play, and that is the 7th run of the day for the Lobos.
Center fielder, Jared Mang.
And now Jared Mang steps in, 3 for 3 on the day. He's now batting over 400, 402 for the year. 1 out, runners on first and second. Spooner looking to induce a double play. And the first one way outside, 1-0 the count. And the 1-0, and that one is high up in the air. James Gamble comes in and over and puts it away for the second out of the inning.
The third baseman, Connor Mang.
Connor Mang will now step in with 2 outs, still 2 on. 12 hits so far for the Lobos. Rebels scored 2. And that was in the first inning and have not scored since. This will, if the score holds or the lead holds, this will jump New Mexico back above the Rebels in the Mountain West standings. And the first pitch, and that one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. And the 0-1 to Connor Mang, in for a strike, 0-2. That one fouled off. The count will remain 0-2. And that one fouled back. Just getting a piece of it is Connor Mang. Little high, 1-2 the count. And the 1-2, and that is a swinging strike. But the Lobos do put on one more. Rebels trail by 5, going to the bottom of the 6th, 7-2. Darian Williams steps in. And the first pitch in for a strike. Well, a great outing for Drew Gillespie. This one will fall in for a single, and once again, the Rebels will have base runner on an inning. They've had some base runners just unable to cash in. They're actually 2 for 11 with runners on. Max Smith, who had a double his last at bat, but trying to advance with 2 outs from third left, or to third, left second a little bit too early and was called out. That was back in the 4th. And then the 5th, Rebels had Stott and Gamble on with 1 out and unable to do anything here. Let's see if they can do something with Williams, and that one in for a strike, 0-1. Should be somebody ready in the Lobos bullpen. They've got trying to pick off the number there. Might be 25. Oh, yeah. Just turn around, throw over to first. Williams back. Looks like a 2-something out there. And the pitch to Smith, and that one a big swing and a miss, and the count goes to count is 0-2. Williams still at first. And that one hammered down foul past Pat Armstrong in the first base coaching box. Count will remain 0-2. And the 0-2 to Smith. That one misses. 1-2. Good stop by O'Farrell to keep Williams at first. The game now is 2 hours and 3 minutes old. It's good pace to the first 3 innings, and then with the Lobos scoring and the Rebels getting base runners on, just unable to score, the innings have slowed down. And the 1-2 instead of throw over to first, Williams back in time. Now remember, that is Sharman now on deck as he took over in left field for Grant Robbins. And the 1-2, and that one is hammered deep and very foul. In fact, just about almost as foul as you can get. Yeah, that was something. If you were walking to the Lead Athletic Complex on that path, it might have actually sailed over your head. That's how foul it was. So Max just a little out front on that one. And the 1-2, and he swings through that, and that is a strikeout. The Rebels have struck out 6 times today.
Jason Sharman.
So Jason Sharman will come up for his first at-bat of the day. Sharman out of Desert Oasis High School, same high school as Bryson Stott. And a lot of other people, I'm sure, too. Maybe you watching right now. Maybe you're from Desert Oasis. And he bunts, it's foul, and the count 0-1. If the Rebels don't come back, they're going to look back on this game, I think, with some regret. And some of the scoring chances and some of the maybe dubious running that might have cost them a few runs here. But it is still only the bottom of the 6th. If the Rebels could, throw over. Williams was leaning the wrong way, but luckily for Williams, Gillespie hesitated just a hair. And a throw over. Williams back again. The 0-1 to Sharman, and that one misses. 1-1 the count. Gillespie over 100 pitches now. Pahukoa on deck. This might be his last batter. Well, Sharman will lift it up. Going back, the left fielder, Baker, puts it away for the second out. So that probably will get Gillespie another batter here. I can't imagine we're going to see him in the 7th inning. Pahukoa will try to get a hit and perhaps force the hand a little bit of the Lobos to get in that bullpen here in the 6th. Duke 0 for 2 on the day. Looking for his first hit, the DH. And the first pitch to Duke, that one in for a strike, 0-1. Man coming by with 3 beers. He's got 2 shock tops in either arm, then a Bud Light, it appears, tucked into his armpit. And that one will be the first hit for Pahukoa of the day. And the Rebels once again will have a runner in scoring position. And let's see if that does it for Gillespie. We're going to have a pinch hitter here, but wait till he's announced. So Vince Taormina steps in, and
Your attention, please. Batting for Godman, number 11, Vince Taormina.
so Jacob Godman out of the game now. And Gillespie gets another batter. That is his 108th pitch, and it is in for a strike. 0-1 the count. Vince batting .256 on the year. That one fouled off, and the count quickly 0-2. Taormina, if he can get on, Gamble on deck. And a check swing does go. O'Farrell will have to throw down to first. He completes it. So that'll do it for the Rebels. Top of the 7th we will go to 7-2. Lobos on top. Jeff Dimeling will step up here in the top of the 7th, the DH for the Lobos, and he will be facing a brand new battery. Donovan McChrystal comes in, and the first pitch, and he throws it right to Vince Taormina's glove as Taormina stays in at the catching position. 0-1 the count. That one just misses. 1-1. And the 1-1, big swing and a miss. That one is skied to center field. Gamble shading his eyes, and he puts it away for the first out of the inning. Adam Atkins steps in. Adkins 1 for 3 on the day. Had a double back in the second. Has struck out the next 2 times. That one high. 1-0 the count. Crystal comes in. The 1.10 ERA. 16 and a third innings pitched when he came in. 5 walks and 13 Ks. That one in for a strike. 1-1 the count. Taormina, the catcher, a senior from Silverado High School. McChrystal, California product, Santee, California. Grossmont College transferred on over. 1-2 the count. And the 1-2, and that one is foul. No, it will be foul. Will Max Smith get over there? No. And it did go on the other side of the fence in foul territory. So the count will be 1-2, 1 out here. Marshall Jr. on deck. And the 1-2, and that one is high. 2-2 the count. That one right back. Wow. I'm just glad McChrystal didn't get pegged by that one. We'll go for a single. That's how the game started. 3 singles right up the middle for the Lobos. They grabbed the 1-0 lead.
Derrick Marshall.
Quickly, UNLV struck twice in the bottom of the first to take the lead just till the Lobos scored 1 in the top of the second. Then Lobos added on another in the third, 3 more in the fourth, none in the fifth, 1 in the sixth. Derrick Marshall Jr. steps in, 1 for 2. He had a single back in the fourth. And the first one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. Gamble, Stott, and Johnson due up for the Rebels in the seventh. The Rebels have had runners on, just been unable to cash in with the exception of the first inning when they did cash in 2. That one in for a strike. 0-2 quickly. And the 0-2 way outside. 1-2 the count. Adkins over at first, throw over and back in time. And Marshall went fishing there, a little bit out of the strike zone. That'll be a strikeout for Donovan McChrystal and the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the left fielder, Tanner Baker. Tanner having himself a game, 2 for 2. He has 2 singles and a walk and an RBI. "13 hits for the Lobos today. 7 runs. And that one high and away, 1-0 the count. Rebels still have 9 more outs, and they've had their chances to cut into this lead in the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th, unable to capitalize on both. Rebels batting .182 with runners in scoring position. A Lobo fan walks by with 3 beers, carrying it probably the more traditional way, kind of in a pyramid, like with 2 hands. No armpit beer on that one. No armpit beer. Which I think is wise, because I think an armpit beer would get warm a little bit faster. This is what happens when the Rebels are down 5 runs in the 7th. We start talking about armpit beers. Baker steps out, 2-0 the count. O'Farrell, the catcher, on deck. And the 2-0 go. There goes the runner, and this one is out to left field. Sharman's got to get on his horse. He catches it in fair territory for the 3rd and final out. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Rebels trail by 5, 7-2 to the Lobos, live from Early Wilson. Blake Walden, the new pitcher for the Lobos here in the bottom of the 7th. He'll take over for Drew Gillespie. Blake Walden, the senior, and his first pitch to James Gamble is outside. 1-0 the count. Walden comes in with a 6.94 ERA. 11 2/3 inning pitch, 5 walks and 8 strikeouts. 1-1 the count now to Gamble. That one little bobble, that should be enough to get Gamble to first, and he throws it away, and Gamble will be able to go all the way to second now. So, great defense for the Lobos on the infield for most of the day, but a little bit of Mang bobbled it. Stott now will come up with a runner in scoring position. Stott, 1 for 1 on the day. So that will be an error. Error on Mang on the throw. So Gamble now at second. Stott and Stott shows bunt. That one misses. That one in for a strike. And that one, Stott will hit it far and foul. Right up into the patio area of the Anthony and Lindy Marnell III UNLV Baseball Clubhouse. And the 1-2 to Stott. That one outside. The count will go to 2-2. Rebels looking to put up a crooked number here in the 7th and get right back in this game. Got the top of the lineup up and Gamble at second with no outs. Bryson 1 for 1. That one will miss, so 3-2 the count. Bryson has walked twice and a single. Looking to get on anyway. Rebels need base runners here. They still have 9 outs to score 5 runs to tie and more to try to take this series. There is action up in the Lobos bullpen. And the 3-2 pitch to Stott, and that one is driven out to left field. Unfortunately, not far enough. Baker will get it, and Gamble, because it's in left field, unable to advance. So that is the first out of the inning. Dylan Johnson now will step up. 1 for 3 on the day. That one is going to be tough. The first baseman, Marshall, and that will... Wow, he caught it. Not the third baseman, but Adkins coming over, sliding in there. So Adkins, I know that's off your screen, slides in there, makes the catch in fair territory just by a foot. And really, really good play. Now Gamble does advance to third, but now there's 2 outs. And the Rebels betting 154 now, 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position. And we will get a visit to the mound. Really a very good play by Adkins there in right field. We will have a new Lobos pitcher. We'll get you the number when he comes in. New pitcher, number 32, Malachi Emmond, comes in. And he will face Jack Thomas Wold, who is 1 for 3. He does have an RBI today. And the first pitch is hammered right back to Emmond. He catches it, drops it, spins around, and throws over to first. So the Rebels once again strand a runner on. We'll go to the top of the 8th. Rebels trail by 5, 7-2, live from Early Wilson. Jackson Kofer, the new pitcher for the Rebels. He will face Reese O'Farrell, the catcher, who's 1 for 2 on the day as a triple with a couple of RBIs. 0-1 the count. And that one in for a strike, 0-2. Kofer comes in with a ERA right at 3. 18 innings pitched. And if you can do the math, let's see, 6. Yeah, that's 6 earned runs. That makes sense. 6, 12, 18. There you go. See? So math is important. That one misses 1-2 the count. And the 1-2, and that one high and tight. 2-2 the count. Well, it really comes down to the batting average today of runners in scoring positions. Or position. Lobo's batting 500. The Rebels batting 143. Count will now go full to O'Farrell. And a swing and a miss, so that is a strikeout induced by Jackson Kofer. That is his 16th strikeout of the year.
Baseman, Justin Watari.
Now Watari will step in. Not hurting his on-base percentage at all. 1 for 2 on the day. And that one misses. 1-0 the count. And the 1-0, and that one right down the pipe for a strike. 1-1 the count. Well, if you're in the Las Vegas area, hard to imagine a prettier day than this. That one in for a strike, 1-2 the count. Rebels will go to Grand Canyon for a Tuesday afternoon game. And then they'll head on up to Colorado Springs to play Air Force. That one is out to left field. Remember that Sharman over there? He comes in and then jumps up, and he makes just a routine out in left field.
The shortstop, Hayden Schilling.
That did have some, looks like some wicked little spin on there. Hayden Schilling, 2 for 3 on the day. He'll take the first one for a strike, 0-1 the count. Aviators starting up here in a few days. Their first home game. Not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that. That went in for a strike. Rebels will be playing ASU here that night. So lots of baseball next Tuesday here in the Las Vegas area. The Golden Knights will be off waiting for the Stanley Cup playoffs. That a called third strike. So Kofer comes in, does a good job. 7-2. We head to the bottom of the 8th, live from Early Wilson. Darian Williams will come on in the bottom of the 8th. Edmond with the first pitch, in for a strike. Other scores in the Mountain West. San Jose State lost to Northwestern today, 6-0. San Diego State on top of Fresno State, 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th. And Air Force 4-0 over Reno in the top of the 7th. That one in for a strike. Quickly 0-2 the count. Williams, Smith, and Sharman scheduled for the Rebels here in the 8th. Rebels scored 2 in the first, and that's it. So they trail 7-2. In danger of losing the series to New Mexico, 2-3. Rebels won last night on brilliant pitching by Ryan Hare, and barely lost on Friday by the score of 3-2. So one close game right now, unless the Rebels make a comeback here. One close game and one blowout in their favor and one blowout not in their favor. Williams will strike out. No need to throw down to first as O'Farrell got the ball.
Right fielder, Max Smith.
So Max Smith comes in, 1 for 3 on the day at a double. Swing and a miss, and the ball bounces to the backstop. And the 0-1, and that one is high. 1-1 the count. Next opponent for UNLV will be Grand Canyon on the road. Grand Canyon 15-12 overall. At home, they are 8-8. And the 1-1, and that one is fisted out to center field and will drop in front of Mang for the Rebels' 9th hit of the afternoon.
Left fielder, Jason Sharman.
So Jason Sharman, this will be his second at-bat. He came in to spell Grant Robbins in left field. His one at-bat back in the 6th, he flied out to left field. Pahukoa on deck, 1 for 3 on the day. Jason looking for his first hit and his second at-bat of the day. And the first pitch way outside, 1-0 the count. Tomorrow, the first day of April. Should be another beautiful day in Las Vegas. And the 1-0, and that one is hammered foul. Foul ball. So the count will go to 1-1. And the 1-1, that one right down the pipe for a strike. 1-2 the count. I think Sharman would like to have that one back. Sharman batting .217 on the year. 23 at-bats, 5 hits. And the 1-2, that one misses outside. 2-2 the count. Emmond out of Coventry, Connecticut. Went to Western Oklahoma Junior College. So he's making his way west. The 2-2 to Sharman, and that one is high. The count will go full 3-2. You would think Smith would not be going down by 5 runs. And the 3-2, and that one will be delivered out to left field for a single. Bobbled there a little bit by Baker, but not far enough. And Smith smartly just going station to station. So all of a sudden, Duke Pahukoa comes up. And, you know, the Rebels trail by 5. They've had a bunch of runners on, but unable to cash in. Let's see if Duke, who's 1 for 3 on the day, he had a single his last at bat in the 6th inning, can pull this game a little bit tighter. Of course, if he goes big fly, then we're really talking about something. And the first one to Paukoa in for a strike. And the 0-1, and that one is a swing, foul tip. 0-2 the count. Nobody in the Lobos bullpen. The 0-2 to Paukoa, and that one misses outside. Good stop by O'Farrell to keep Smith at second and Sharman at first. Emmond does have 6 saves on the season, so this could be his game. And the 1-2 pitch, and Duke will take that for a called third strike. Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter coming up. Chase Hansen. Freshman, Huntington Beach. Chase will step in and bat for Vince Taormina, so we'll probably have a Seth Mullis sighting here in the 9th. Would be my guess.
Your attention, please. Batting for Taormina, number 3, Chase Hansen.
Well, the 2 times I've seen Chase come up in a pinch hitting situation, I've seen him double and hit a home run. So, see if he can at least get a RBI here, and if nothing else, get a positive feeling for the Rebels here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 more runners on. And the first pitch to Chase, and he swings and misses, and that is a strike. 0-1 the count. And that's a strike. 0-2 quickly to Hansen. Batting .286. Limited at bats. Only 14 at bats. With those 4 hits, he does have 3 RBI, but he's going to have to do it now. Down 0-2. heart of the lineup coming up for the Lobos in the top of the ninth. And the 0-2, and that one misses. 1-2 the count. O'Farrell able to stop it, keep the runners from advancing. And the 1-2, and that one just misses high. 2-2 the count. And the 2-2 to chase, and that one misses. So the count will go full. That'll give the base runners a running start there with 2 outs. Smith looks down to Higgins and lets him know that he does know that it's a 3-2 with 2 outs. Sharman will get a good lead off of first also. Gamble on deck, 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And instead of throwback, and nice climbing the ladder there, some by Schilling to keep that from going into center field. And the 3-2 pitch, the runners go, and a big swing, and that will do it. We'll go to the top of the ninth. Lobos up 7-2, live from Early Wilson. Talon Thomason steps in to pitch for the Rebels. Seth Mullis, as we predicted, is behind the plate. And the first one to Jared Mang. Low, 1-0 the count. Jared 3 for 4 on the day. He finally made an out back in the 6th inning. Rebels will have 9-1-2 in the 9th. So Thomason trying to keep it right here. Giving the Rebels a chance to score 5 in the bottom of the 9th to tie it up and go extra innings. Or 6 and win. But there's still some work to do, especially with Jared Mang. This one, oh boy. Johnson, as soon as he started going back on that, that was a lost cause. And that will be the first error for the Rebels.
Third baseman, Connor Mang.
So Connor Mang now will step in. Connor 0 for 4. His brother 3 for 5. He struck out and hit into 2 double plays. He'll bunt. It'll be a successful sacrifice as his brother will go over to second, and that will be the first out of the inning, bringing up the DH, Daimling. Jeff, a senior, is 1 for 4 on the day.
Jeff Daimling.
Daimling betting $3.29, and he'll take the first pitch, and a little bit high, 1-0 the count. And the 1-0, and that one is popped up. Gamble comes over, but it'll be Smith in right field. And actually tagging up is Mang, testing the arm, and Mang does get into third. So with the put out by Smith in right field, that is now 2 outs. And Atkins will come up. It was 2 for 4 on the day.
Right fielder, Adam Atkins.
Adam came in batting 179, but he's gotten 2 for 4. He's up to 209. As we are just 2 minutes from the game going 1 minute now to the game going 3 hours in length. And this one right down the pipe for a strike, 0-1 the count. So scheduled Gamble, Stott, and Johnson in the 9th. Rebels will look for big rally in the 9th so they can take the series. Otherwise, it'll be the Lobos taking it in. That one high, 1-1 the count. And the pitch, that one inside. So I believe now the count is 2-1. Thomason sets, and that one a big swing and a miss. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man on third. 7 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for the Lobos. 2 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Rebels. And the 2-2 way outside. Mullis had to cross over into the left-handed batter's box to make sure that one did not score Mang from third. So now a full count. Marshall on deck. And a swing and a miss. So it'll take some 9th inning magic by the Rebels. come on back and let's see if they can do it together. 7-2, Lobos on top. Live from Early Wilson. James Gamble will step in. 1 for 3 on the day as a single back in the 5th. Rebels trail by 5. The rally caps are on here with the Rebel fans down the right field line. They're looking for some 9th inning magic. 1-0 the count. There is some action down in the Lobos bullpen just in case Edmund gets in trouble. And the 1-0, and that is a big swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. So the Rebels need base runners. You can't hit a 5-run home run. Trevor, did you hear that? You can't hit a 5-run home run. No. We're not going to explain that. Huh? And the 1-2 count. And that one way outside, 2-2 the count. And the 2-2, this one is dribbled down. Boy, this one's going to be tough. In fact, Gamble will get on. Do or die play by Meng over there. And even if he'd have gotten it, I think Gamble would have been on. So that will be, Gamble is now 2 for 4. So, 1 hitter, 1 hit. Bryson Stott now on. Bryson is 1 for 2. He's walked a couple times. And the first pitch outside. 1-0 the count. And the 1-0, that one right down the pipe for a strike. 1-1 the count. And the 1-1 to Stott, and that one is high. 2-1 the count. Emmond a little disgusted with himself on that pitch. throw over to first and gamble back. If you're gamble, the one thing you really don't want to do is get picked off down by 5. And the 2-1, and that one outside, so the count goes to 3-1. And that will elicit a visit from Ray Birmingham, the Lobos coach. There was action in the Lobos bullpen, but now no action. But I can't imagine it would take too long to get somebody ready to come in. But I can't imagine this is for a pitching change, as I see nobody warming up. So, Coach Birmingham, with the slowest walk I've seen in a long time, gets back in there. And the 3-1 to Stott, and that one in for a strike. Bryson thought it might have been a little bit high. Bryson wisely just trying to get on anyway. A walk is as valuable as a hit right now. And the 3-2, and that one way outside. So it will be a walk. And all of a sudden, the Rebels have 2 on and no outs. So Johnson, who has a hit today, 1 for 4, batting .325. And for, let's see, what would this be? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th inning in a row, the Rebels will have a runner in scoring position at some point during the inning. Now Johnson will be pulled, and Austin Pfeiffer will be pinch hitting for him. So Pfeiffer's first at bat, batting .429 on the year, and he'll take the first one in for a strike. 0-1 the count. 3-4-7 is Austin. He's walked a couple times. Has 1 RBI in the season. No extra base hits. So those 3 hits have all been singles. And the 0-1, and that one is a big swing and a miss. Rebels down by 5. The home run right now, well, don't get me wrong, it wouldn't be bad, but you still need to just keep the merry-go-round going. So a single to right field is in some ways more valuable and puts more pressure on the Lobos than even a home run. It will clear the bases. And the 0-2 to Pfeiffer, and that one misses, so the count is 1-2. Still no action in the Lobos bullpen. Jack Thomas Wold on deck. He is 1 for 4 on the day. Austin Arbor View High School product here in Las Vegas. And the 1-2 to Pfeiffer, and he went chasing, and that is the first out of the inning and a strikeout.
First baseman, Jack Thomas Wold.
So Wold will come up, 1 for 4, batting .339. A single and an RBI in the first, still the only RBI of the game for the Rebels. Grounded out very hard to third. Good play by Marshall over there. Or I'm sorry, at first. And then struck out and grounded out to the pitcher. So he's had 2 good. That's that one didn't look good. That one looked like it hurt. 0-1 the count. Williams on deck. And the 0-1 to Walden, and that one misses. 1-1 the count. If Wold could somehow get on, even if it's just a walk, this game would become quite a lot more interesting. Rebels down by 5. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th, looking for a big comeback. And the 1-1 to Wold, and that one is chopped. Boy, I'll tell you what, he is safe at first, so the bases will be loaded. Woohoo! Nothing Edmund could do there. I mean, you have to wait for the ball to come back down. That thing was a
second baseman at Derrick Williams.
Almost like waiting for a pop-up to come down, and Wold busting it down there. So now, all of a sudden, the tying run on deck in the form of Max Smith. The Rebels making it interesting here in the 9th, not going down quietly. Bases loaded, 1 out at Derrick Williams. Still no action in the Lobos bullpen. This one shot down, takes a funny bounce, and that will still remain bases loaded. Now, so now all of a sudden, guess what? The tying run comes to the plate with the home run leader for the Rebels, Max Smith. And the Lobos bullpen, boy, you'd think they'd have had a left-hander or somebody going there. Nothing. So Baker way back in left field. Lobos looking to turn 2. And the first one outside 1-0. Now remember, that's Sharman on deck now. Max Smith 2 for 4. He has a double, a single. The crowd's waking up. 335 club going crazy out there in right field. And the 1-0, and that one is out to left field, and it will be caught on the run. It will score a run, but right now the Lobos happy to give up an out for a run. So it is now 7-4. Still the tying run at the plate, but now there are 2 outs, and it'll be up to Mr. Sharman, who has got a hit already today. 1 for 2 on the day. Pahukoa on deck. So Jason just trying to get on somehow, some way, or a home run and tie this ball game up. See what Sharman does on the first pitch. He will line it foul. Wow. Woo! Look out there. Wayne Gretzky almost got hit there in the... Wayne Gretzky gets the ball. Or a guy in a Wayne Gretzky jersey. We have not had verification that that actually is Wayne Gretzky. And the 0-1, and that one, wow, well, that's in for a strike, 0-2. And the 0-2 to Sharman, and that one will do it. So the Lobos take 2 out of 3. Chase Maddox will lose this one. And the starting pitcher, Drew Gillespie, does a great job for the Lobos. Next up, on the road for the Rebels to Grand Canyon. Thanks for spending the afternoon with the Rebel Baseball. Till next time, ASU game at home. Bye-bye.